All right. That's enough dilly dallying. Let's do some coding. Let's do some actual coding today on the project. Shall we? Probably gonna be a short stream. Probably gonna be like 2 hours or less, honestly. Because this morning, I did some coding this morning, but not in the way I would have liked. I guess is the diplomatic way to say it. I uh I just had to do a fizz buzz for a job application is the thing, and um it's been a while since I had done fizz buzzes. I'm talking about like hacker rank or elite code style coding problems, by the way. Yeah, it'd been a while since I'd done it, and they want somebody who knows C sharp, and I know Java. So, you know, I already talked to the recruiter, and they seemed fine with it. So I'm like, I'll do it in Java. And also, there was some SQL stuff in there, and also there was some trivia. And one of the trivia questions I just didn't know the answer to, so I'm just like, fuck it. I don't. If that one question is like the thing that makes or break my application, oh well. Good riddance. I really do hate trivia questions. Like if the question is worded in such a way that you can copy and paste it into Google and get exactly the right answer immediately, then it's probably not worthwhile asking that question. If I'm going to be honest, probably not worthwhile. It's also probably not worthwhile testing people on FizzBuzz questions in the first place. But that's just like a whole other thing. That's like the industry, and I can't fix that. I need to get paid. I need money. So I will play their games. I will play the game. And also honestly I kind of like competitive coding type questions. They're kind of fun for me. I don't know. They're like cute little puzzles, and um if I can solve them really fast, then I feel good about myself. It's fun. I have fun with it. So I actually have a lot of patience for that kind of stuff. But I know in the back of my head, it's like this is not what the interview process should look like. Ideally, it's just not how it should be. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, though, I have to been. I did a little bit of work. So, like, I know I said I would stream yesterday, and I didn't. Um, Yesterday my water heater has been broken, and then people came over to replace it, and that took like 3 hours. So I couldn't stream during those 3 hours because there was like noise of them installing a whole new water heater, right? But during that time I did do some coding. Oh, and then like after that I was like, I've been around humans too much today. I don't want to engage my social abilities again after being around people for so long. So I'm just gonna not. That was yesterday. And what did I actually accomplish yesterday? So let me open up the thingy. Let me open the thing, and we'll take a look. See, inspect, drag this down slightly, bring over OBS. Okay. Hey OBS, you know how to do things. Very good. Okay. Console. All right. So here we are. Boop, boop. It's still slightly broken in that the scroll thing brings it to the top, and it's not supposed to. But it works. This was actually mind blowing, but the code as translated from Python basically just worked without me having to do anything further, and it works ridiculously fast, which is great because it works so fast. I'm just not even gonna um do the incremental thing, you know? I'm just not even gonna do it. There's no point if it runs this fast. Absolutely no point at all to doing that. So yeah, it produces real. These are real difficulty numbers. This is not just like for the sake of prototyping or whatever. These are what it actually produces. maybe they're not totally accurate. You could certainly argue that the difficulty algorithm is not great. It's not amazing. It's got a bug where if you get to really high difficulties, it breaks. It's slightly different for every song. Yeah, so we get this error eventually. I think it's really cute that the dot dot dots do their dot 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 thing in that case, though. I love that. So we probably want to fix that. Okay, we probably want to fix that. So we would select the thing and notice that I assume in all cases the 1.0 difficulty exactly agrees with this difficulty, or at least it should, right? Yeah, at least it should. Oh, and that initial waiting time is the time it takes for me to actually download the song from the database. Aha! Now I understand. Nope. Right. Yeah. How freaking cool is that, right? Like, how cool is that? That's really freaking cool. Then if you go too far, yep, we eventually reach the point where we get that error message again. Hold on. It's down here somewhere, I promise. Here it is. Yeah. So that's fantastic. Oh, hey. Hey, welcome to the stream. How are you? I'm glad you could catch the stream today. I guess probably because it's later in the afternoon, it's a little bit better for you. Hey, how's it going? Did you see the things, or do I have to repeat myself? So what are we gonna do? So yeah, we want to fix these bugs. And then the next task is to actually go in there. Actually, there's like a little bit of code I want to show you. Okay. Yeah. Looks like you got the rate bar going. Yeah. Ish. Looks like oh, I heard you say once it gets too high, it throws an error. Yeah, yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so these are real difficulties is the thing. So that part of the rate is done, right? I ported my difficulty algorithm from Python to TypeScript, and I get the real difficulty numbers, and and that's cool. I have yet to do the audio part of rate though. That's sort of the one remaining bit that I hope to do today. So here's the get tracks with rate. Okay, so there's this class called a step file, and I use this class both for when the user uploads a file and they have to parse a .sm, or if we're doing when you're playing from online, you download the file from my server, and it's not actually a .sm, it's actually a .swf, and it's like an FFR type thing. But in both cases, we get this tracks thing. The tracks is a double array of notes, 2D array of notes, and I modified this so that you have original tracks and regular and tracks. Okay, so when you download the song, original tracks is basically at 1.0 rate. Okay, and because this comes from the server, right? I actually want to save this and keep this around because it takes time to like go and ask the server, "Hey, remember that 1.0 rate version of the song? Can I get that again?" So we save the 1.0 rate version of the song. Uh, so we don't have to like. Oh, and I guess you could do it like a really horrible way where it's like if you say your rate was 2.0, right? You can, you could transform the song to 2.0 rate, and then if you needed the 1.0 version back, you could, I guess, reverse engineer it, right? Switch a multiply to a divide. But that's terrible. You don't want to do that. So yeah, we cached this, and then I wrote this little function here. Where is it? It's this function, right? Yeah. Okay. I wrote this function here that says get tracks with rate. Okay, so this says you input the rate, and then it does It takes this time multiplier and multiplies that by all the times in the step file. That's basically how rates work, I think. We won't know for sure until we actually play a song. And I had to sit and think about this particular line of code for a really long time because I thought of like 10 different ways that it was like, wait, it can't be that simple. No, there's an offset, and then there's like audio sync, and then there's like visual sync. Surely you can't just, I think you can just multiply by the time multiplier. If it is a lossless transform, it wouldn't hurt the step file, but you wouldn't want to edit the audio. That's the thing though, since we're using floating points, I'm 99% sure it's not going to be lossless. It's like not, I mean, it's practically lossless because floating points, what is it, like the 15th decimal point would be slightly off, but that actually matters. Potentially, that actually matters. If even one bit is off, then the hash function that I use to create the identifier for each song would be wrong. So if even one bit is different, it would be broken, completely, totally broken. So this transformation will always be one way. Just use FP64, clownface. I'm sure that's a hilarious joke. I unfortunately don't know what FP64 is. I'm so sorry. Oh, wait. Floating point. Does that mean floating point 64? I'm stupid. It like took me a minute. Does that mean like a 64-bit floating point? Not doing great tonight. Not doing great. I'm not on my game. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, and I messed with Note Manager a little bit in order to take the tracks and make them into a linear thing. You know, rather than like four arrays, one for each track, I want a single array with all the notes in order, right? And I didn't want to have to instantiate a note manager class in order to get access to the logic of translating to linear. So I did some horrific stuff where I just copied stuff. I copied a function and made it static. Note manager is terrible. It should not exist. It doesn't do anything other than make you instantiate a class just to get access to some really important functions. Anyways, anyways. Difficulty. Is this the thing? This is the rate pop up. So, okay. So here's what happens. What is this error? I can't ignore it. What is your problem? This condition will always return true. Huh? Huh. You know what? Editor VS Code, you're correct. I did mean not number.isNan. Thank you. My bad. Thank you. I'm surprised that my editor was like helpful for once. Kind of can't believe that. Okay. Calculate note times is called by this. Okay. So if the step file, so here's what happens, right? Here's what happens. You click a song, and when you click rate, what happens is the rate pop up is like, hey, the song that you just clicked, I need to get it. So then it makes a request to the server. Okay, it makes a request to the server in play from online right here. it makes a request to the server right here. While it's making the request to the server, naturally it like shows the pop-up, and then eventually it gets the result back from the server. It parses the step file or whatever. And so here we have to say, oh, hey, rate pop up, by the way, I got that step file for you. I got that step file for you. And now when you're in the draw loop, when you say, hey, draw rate pop up, right here we say rate pop up draw. Every frame in rate pop up, it's going to come over down here. It's going to say, hey, did I get that step file? And oh yeah, by the way, is there work to be done? And there is going to be work to be done because this gets filled up with all the rates that are on screen. Okay, yeah. Do we have that step file? Then your next task is going to be whatever's on top of the work queue. You submit. You say like, hey, do the task. And what does it do? It says this .step file .get tracks with rate for this particular rate. And then it's going to say incrementally calculate features. See, that was actually a premature operation optimization. It runs so ridiculously fast, I'm not going to have to do it incrementally. Runs so ridiculously fast, I'm not going to have to do that. So what does it do here? Linear notes. So we take the tracks, we turn them into linear. We get a difficulty from process notes. This is not what it should be called. It should be called get difficulty from notes. Or whatever. Yeah, so it calculates the difficulty. And then, what do we use this rate for? Ah, yes. It needs to know what rate it just calculated the difficulty for so that it can go into the UI and figure out what row of the table it's supposed to update. Yeah. This table rows rate index cells item 2 inner text equals difficulty. This like sequence of 50 dereferences. Oy vey. And then we take the thing off the work queue and current task ID equals none. And there's a timeout, so we don't actually have to like undo. It's not like a repeating thing. It's done. It's not going to start a whole nother thing. Yeah. Cool. Great. It runs. What was your question? How is nan always greater than 0? How is nan always greater than 0? Did my code make you ask that question, or is that just like a general question? Because nan is not always greater than 0, apparently. Fun fact. What the line of code was before, the line of code before was actually was this. This was the line of code before, to be clear. Do I need to do... No? Yeah. You get it now? Okay. For the people watching at home, I'm pretty sure it's basically um, this thing um, is like referring to... Well, wait. Yeah, it's something like this equals comparison that you would do here doesn't work how you think it does. It's like this nan is an object or something. And when you say, is this equal to this, you're comparing like object IDs or something nonsense. I actually don't know precisely why this is wrong. Gotta be honest. But it was. And I'm glad my IDE fixed it. Okay. So here's the thing, right? We're like really close. Okay. The user picks some rate. They hit confirm, and what happens is in rate pop-up, we store the real... Hold on, where is it? We store the rate that was selected. Um I think this is just for this pop-up though. I think actually CFE. We somehow communicate that and make it available to be referenced. This dot current rate is equal to confirm button. Right. Okay. When we click the confirm button, we go and say, hey, who's my parent page? Who's the thing that I'm currently popping up over? I'm going to set the current rate on that thing. So we're passing this piece of information from one class to another. It's really just a formality. So play from online gets the rate. Okay, it has a thing called current rate. We let the pop-up come over here and edit this value. I think nan is normally defining not a number, but I could be wrong, like an imaginary number. Yeah, no, nan means not a number. When you do 1 divided by 0 in or like there's other math operations that break, you get to nan. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. I don't know anything about JavaScript clearly. 0 divided by 0. There we go. Okay. 0 divided by 0 is how you get nan. Obviously, JavaScript should not be the authority on math, but just I was just trying to make a point. Yeah, it's like when a math operation goes wrong. Or that. Okay. Weird stuff like that. Why this isn't an error? Right? Why if you're taking two things of different types and this is an undefined operation, you don't just get an error? I will never know. But whatever. JavaScript. JavaScript is pretty unpleasant to work with sometimes for reasons just like that. All right. So now that the user has set their rate, I mean, ideally that it would display it here. Okay, but we'll get to that later. They've selected the rate. Now, when the user hits load and play, or really any of these other options, the behavior needs to have changed. Okay, we're going to start with working on load and play because I think everything else will kind of just work magically because it depends on step file. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure like leaderboard failed to load leaderboard. That's a little bit weird, not going to lie. How about 1.0 rate? Hold on. Is the leaderboard just broken forever? probably, which is maybe it's fine. Huh, that's a little bit weird. Whatever. If you hit rate and you select the thing and you confirm, when you hit load and play, it should play the song at that rate. It should be able to play that song at that rate, which means that we need the rate to affect the audio file too. When, though, when will the rate affect the audio file? I have to decide what the right step in operation is for the rate to affect it. Kind of is the thing. Yeah. Because right here, we need to know the rate, because this might be changed. This might be changed. Completely unrelated, but if you haven't tried ChatGPT yet, you should. It's pretty fun. Yeah, I've been seeing all over like social media and stuff, everybody talking about how much fun ChatGPT is. And I just I don't care. I don't care enough to actually mess around with it. I do think it's cool in principle, but I just don't. It didn't look new or exciting enough for me to be like, wow, I gotta check this out. Because like honestly, chat AI is kind of old hat for me. It's like I've been there, done that. I'm not. It's a new, better chat AI. You made it solve the traveling salesman problem in Rust. Okay, you understand that when you say solve the traveling salesman problem, that could be understood in many different ways. Because the traveling salesman problem is famously an unsolved problem. And then you asked it to add a gravitational search algorithm and it did it. Okay. Oh, right. That's why people are like, oh my God, no programmer ever needs to write code again ever. That could be cool. Yeah, that could be cool. I don't. I'm very bah humbug about AI. It doesn't. I don't know. Can I ask the AI to write my game? Can I ask the AI, hey, make a rhythm game and have it have all these features? Because if it can't do that, I'm not interested. ChatGPT can fuck off. In that case, that's so mean. But also, whatever. Because like, there's already been GitHub Copilot, right? Don't you know about GitHub Copilot? That did the same thing. And GitHub Copilot um, is fucked up because, well, at least there's accusations that it used code from private repositories to train its AI. For that reason, I'm inherently suspicious of any code related AI. It makes Copilot look like a joke. So, okay. Does that mean that you've used Copilot before? How long have you used Copilot before? Have you written a project? Okay, you tried it. I'm skeptical. I think there's a lot of nuance to this debate, and I don't think a chat discussion is really gonna really tease out all the nuance of what could be going on and what's different and what's better and what's worse. file and audio file could also be cached, but for now, let's not. Do I need to change it here? I guess. Add silence to audio file. Yeah, I think I definitely put rate here. Oh yeah, because both the step file and the audio file still need to have the rate fixed. Because even though I changed the rate on the step file, I didn't. It wasn't like an actual change. It was just like temporary. Yeah. Okay. So I have rate here. I add rate as an argument here, and I think I also add rate here. Yeah, I think I add rate there as well. How about audio file? How about audio file? Where is audio file? Oh, well, it's right here. Okay. Source, audio control, audio context, original buffer, audio buffer, play start time. So you need a public rate. You need a public rate so that I can know whether I need to edit the raw audio over again or not. Load blob original buffer, copy original buffer. Hey. Okay. It's possible that I need to put the rate in here. To reduce the amount of times I have to copy the whole thing. Because when I'm adding silence to the start of a song, I set the number of samples that there are of silence in the song. And what I have to do there is I have to literally copy the whole audio buffer and then add silence to the start of it. I add 0 samples to the start of it. We want to avoid having to do that all the time. So, okay, now is the time where I go look up the documentation. I go look up the documentation for JavaScript web audio uh, change playback rate speed. Change playback speed. Aha! Audio buffer source node dot playback rate. That is the trick. The playback rate property of audio buffer source node is a K rate audio param. That doesn't mean anything. This defines the speed at which the audio asset will be played. A value of 1.0 indicates it should be played at the same speed as its sampling rate. Yeah, I get that. Okay. And I'm not showing this on screen. I know. I know what an audio param is, I think. Okay, and then they're giving me an example. I want to know exactly at the spot that I should set the playback rate. Playback rate dot value is equal to something. They use playback control, which is what? That's a okay. That's an input. That's just noise. I don't need to care about that. Okay, so it's right before they do connect to destination. Okay, so they do connect to destination here. So here I would do this dot audio control, I think, dot playback rate dot value is equal to rate. Okay. I say this dot rate is equal to rate. Okay, playback rate dot value is equal to rate. Great. It's great that the rate is the rate. There's like one small trick though. Okay. There's gonna be some interesting quirks. Because now I'm not, yeah. Like this, for example. What's the behavior of duration now that I've changed the rate? Okay. What's the behavior of duration? My guess is it doesn't change the duration, in which case I'm going to pull my hair out a little bit. JavaScript um, does duration change? Does playback speed change duration? JavaScript web audio. JavaScript is not my friend. Yeah. Don't talk to strangers. Um, I don't know. Blah blah blah. Somehow make a joke about JavaScript in there. I don't know where I was going with that. My brain just died. I'm sorry. Don't talk to JavaScript. They're not your friend. There's a joke in there somewhere. Playback rate basics. Okay, there's like a guide that's talking. Does it have duration? It does not have duration in it. I know a lot of people love JavaScript and might get mad about it. The people that love JavaScript are web developers. That's all you need to know. How can I dynamically change playback rate with what? No, that's not what I searched. All right, Google searching is not particularly helpful here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be like, times this dot rate question mark, or it'd be divided by this dot rate. Seek position in seconds. Oh gosh. Oh, look at this. This would all be absolutely screwed up if playback rate does not alter the duration. Huh. Okay, anyway, we're gonna ignore that. One thing, though, one thing that probably has to change is this. If there's a faster playback rate, I need more silence samples to have the same amount of silence time. As a Pascal enjoyer, I just don't understand why anyone would use it. Well, JavaScript isn't so bad that it makes me totally avoid it. Like the thing is, browsers use JavaScript. That's the problem, I guess. Browsers use JavaScript, so I have to have this tug of war in my head. It's like, well, I could just use JavaScript, or I could use some tool to translate the code the language I would prefer to write in to JavaScript. And if you're gonna do that, because there's a lot of reasons why I want my game to be web based. But if you're going to do that, then you're taking on the burden of all those tools, and all those tools are actually probably awful. I don't really know, though, is the thing. I haven't messed with them. I got as far as getting TypeScript to work, and that was more than enough. That was more than enough playing with packages for me. I know Zag. Do you know Zagron? He's in the FFR community. He's kind of the main FFR guy now, other than Velocity. He's trying to remake FFR in Rust, and that's very early on. That's very early days, but that's also like very very difficult. Getting Rust to work with WebAssembly, it's crazy. Super super crazy. Okay, question. This do I? Oh, look, I redo this. I redo all this. And this actually gets changed when. Okay. I should probably make this into a function. Because I'm pretty sure I do this in two places right now. You pass in a buffer. I think. Am I doing this right? Yeah, look, buffer. Yeah, I have a buffer here. And then I do these same steps, I think. Yeah, I don't. I bounced off of Rust pretty hard when I was trying to help him, but there were other compounding factors as to why I was having a hard time helping him as well. Because he invited me to work on the project with him a bit, and I it was really hard. But it could have been hard for other reasons. There were multiple new things I was trying to figure out. The syntax was just one of them. So maybe if I, started with the Rust Hello World, I would be able to tolerate it a little bit better. This is 5 lines of code. This is not. What's different here? Create buffer source, audio control. Why do I create an audio control here? when it's the audio context I use to decode the audio data. Huh? This is curious. This should actually go here. Where exactly? Like here, I guess. Because I don't use this audio control until like here, right? That feels like an improvement. Okay, I create a buffer source. I set the audio controls buffer. Okay, check this out. There we go. And now that we've refactored it, it is 5 lines. Very good. The Rust hello world angers me. Function main print line exclamation point quote hello world. That looks normal ish. The exclamation point after print line is like a tiny bit weird. Other than that, it looks mostly normal. Why? What am I missing? What am I missing that makes you angry at it? I'm gonna copy this and make sure it's absolutely identical to what I've got going on here. Okay. That. Yes. This is equal to, yep, that's correct. Playback rate equals rate, connect. Okay. That's now identical. And okay, so I'm going to replace this with a call to this and this. And I'll probably just pass in this dot rate. Yeah. Yeah. That looks good. That looks very good. I am convinced that this is a refactor. Okay. Whoever's calling this needs to change, though. Ooh, interesting. Okay. I sent you the whole thing on Discord, but basically angers me because I don't like it. Okay. I'll. Oh, you did. You sent me the whole thing. And there's Chat GPT all mixed in there as well. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. No, I still don't know why it makes you mad. But all right, you're allowed to not like things. It is good to actually, it's really good to not like things. I encourage you to not like things. Because if you like everything, there's something wrong with you. Because there's certain things in this world that are bad things, and it's not worth liking those. Add silence to audio file. Okay, I've got some questions. I know I'm the one who wrote this, and it wasn't that long ago. But like, why do you need a step file? Oh, you need to know the step file so that you can get the time of the earliest note, I think. And why do you need to know the time of the earliest note? Oh, okay. Right. This like may or may not add silence to the audio file is the thing. Um, Maybe I rename this. Ensure a minimum amount of silence. Amount of pause. Ta-da! um, okay. And we need a rate here. Okay. We need a rate, and what do we do with the rate? Desired increase in seconds is min pause minus note start time in seconds. Sample rate is the sample rate. Silent samples to add is equal to the ceiling of sample rate times desired increase in seconds divided by rate. Wait, no, times rate. Because if the song is playing twice as fast, you need twice as many silent samples to produce an equivalent number of seconds of silence. So you times the rate. That's pretty sensible, I think. Okay. And now we ask the question, who calls this function? And it's both play from file and play from online. Okay. So, okay, we need to pass in the rate both here and here. Yes, yes, yes. There's the rate. Here's the rate. There we go. Problem solved. We have solved all programming. We're done. Okay. Load step file and audio file. Ensure minimum amount of pause. This works in theory because the step file. Um. Okay. Well, hold on a second. The step file. Ah, we need to set the rate on the step file. For the step file, we can set the rate after we've already loaded it. For the audio file, you can't do it that way. Dot. Why does the step file need the rate? Aha! This is meant to be public. There we go. Set rate. Yeah. When you set the rate, but you also set the rate. Does that make sense? Good. So that should be everything necessary for this particular path. Which is, I'm primarily focusing on the load and play button. Okay, it's mad. It wants a rate. Oh, I have a rate. No semicolon. Bad semicolon. Okay. Everything that wants a rate gets a rate now. Except probably this guy. I don't think this guy. Well, hold on. Ah, okay. I think we load at the default rate. We load the step file. Well, hold on a second. Load step file has a rate argument? Oh, I see. Will not get a particular rate of that step file because there is no canonical rate of the step file in the context of the pop-up, in the context of this little pop-up thing, because we try it at like, we want to calculate the difficulty at every rate, so there's no canonical one. It wouldn't matter. Wouldn't help me to calculate that for any purpose. Okay. Cool. Oh my god, and I just realized that replays, the whole replay structure needs to, we need to add a rate field to the replay, because otherwise you won't be able to replay a replay that has a rate applied to it. Wait, is that true? Maybe that's not true. Fuck. I don't know. I actually don't know what it'll do to replays off the top of my head. If replays were perfect, okay, if the replay data structure was actually just a sequence of user inputs, which is what I want to change it to, because that's what um like other games do. If that was the case, then it would work fine. You would just replay the key presses back faster. Um, yeah, I mean, I trust me, dude. I am totally gonna test it out. I'm being messaged. I see. Software drag racing. Huh. I'm not really. That sounds different from benchmarking, which sounds cool. Sounds like a more fun version of benchmarking. Okay, set rate button behavior. Okay, so in theory, I'm ready to test this now. So we run npx webpack. There are no compilation errors. Hello? Okay. There are no compilation errors. We pick a rate. Okay. Hey, we were just talking about Nan. Cannot read properties of undefined reading to string. Um, rate popup dot num decimal places. Okay, this cute little function is the one we're calling. And that gets called at 107. True. Okay, my guess is this dot current rate must be undefined, right? What's the error message again? Cannot read properties of undefined reading to string. Yeah, this dot current rate must be undefined. Okay, how did I manage that? When you call init, you pass current rate. When we create a button, we tell it to pass the current rate when you call init. So this must mean that this guy never gets defined. That's actually what I want to do here. Okay. Which is actually completely reasonable. Um, what should I do about that? So the value that I could set here, yeah, I think I just do this. Actually, you know what? I don't do that. Every time you pick a new song, it should set it to 1. I mean, I could have like a memory of all the rates for all the songs on the current page. Uh, I don't think I do that, but I may decide later that I do that. Where's the where's this where's the thing that happens when I select a song? If playlist manager already exists, radio table. Okay, hold on. Get idea select an option. Okay, radio table. I create a radio table here. Um, Oh boy. Just, oh boy. What I'd like to be able to do is listen to um, the user clicking on this. What is this? I commented this out. Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's sensible. Where's the event listener in radio table? Is there not one? Huh. It's very possible that there isn't one explicitly. Is it on the row? Oh yeah, here we go. Row.onClick. Okay. Row.onClick. Huh. Hmm. The way that this is set up makes this a little bit difficult. If I really wanted to, I could do something like uh, get element by tag name. Input item 0 because there's only one of them. Dot add event listener. Click. Do a thing. Right? I could do that. And I wouldn't do it every frame, so I'd put it in that if statement. Let me check here. Okay. That didn't work. Gosh dang it. Wait, hold on. Did I even compile? I might have forgotten to compile. Let me make sure. I probably forgot to compile. No, I didn't forget to compile. How about change on change when the input changes? Because the click event is probably getting consumed by the row that contains it. But shit. I thought the change event would not. Oh my gosh, would not get consumed. Hold on. JavaScript radio input on change. Oh no. Oh no, it's actually I'm being stupid. Hold on. Isn't it true that there's actually like 50 bajillion inputs in here and they're not all one item. There's 50 bajillion different inputs. Oh my goodness, dude. All right, so for now, we're gonna set this equal to 1. We will certainly have to come back to that. We will certainly pay the price for that later. Um, but for now, I'm pretty sure this error went away. Yes, the error did go away. Um, because the error went away, that means I can test what I actually wanted to test all along. Um, okay, I confirm the new rate. If I hit load and play, what happens? This does not sound faster. What about the step file? Well, what do you know? Also, that drop is incredibly loud. Good lord. You know, I haven't added a volume setting to the game yet. Okay. So I need to go into this guy. Yeah. You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me what rate you have, because otherwise I won't know where to go. Still hoping for the volume thing one day. Yeah, one day. One day, my friend, that will be the last feature I implement. I'm kidding, by the way. I have no reason why I'm not. My hacky workaround is to use a different browser from your normal one and lower it in the volume mixer. I'm sorry. I am a bad game developer. I am so sorry that you have to do that. Where okay, hey, maybe I can offload this task to you or a subtask of this task. Where do I put the volume option? Do I put it in the options menu? Do I put it somewhere like on every screen? There's just like a volume slider. What would you do? All right, so the problem is it's getting loaded with rate 1, which means if I follow my chain of connections, this guy knows the rate because he told the rate here, and it's the current rate. Okay, but who controls the current rate? Who can change the current rate but the rate pop up? The rate pop up should be able to change the current rate. somewhere in this logic. Hold on, I want to make a note of something. Rates. Have the difficulty. Wait, I think I actually do stop the calculation. Okay, confirm button on click. This.parent page.current rate is equal to this.current rate. Oh boy. Meaning that so this is where it should be getting set. Close pop-up. If this.current task ID is equal to... Alright, clear timeout. Yeah, that's what it should do. Okay, let's see if selecting a rate actually... okay, that's the problem then. Since you didn't steal plus minus for rates, you could steal it for volume instead. Oh, use the plus and minus button on your keys to change the volume. Otherwise, the bottom center of the screen, you could put a horizontal slider there. Or you could make a drop up. That would work everywhere except on the options menu, but I guess that's fine. Because in the options menu, you'd have like the real volume setting. And then storage. There's just the tiniest bit of space there. I just don't want to have to redo the whole UI, you know? I mean, realistically, I should redo the whole UI, but I'm lazy. So why, pray tell, is the current rate not being set? Check this out. Rate input dot on input. Well, wait a second. Is it the nan? Was it the nan all along? .9. What? Oh. Oh, okay, check this out. Okay, now I understand. So the problem was that I need to do this when this value okay, words. There's two ways to change the value in this box. One is to manually type it yourself. The other is to click on one of these buttons. When you click on one of the buttons, it doesn't trigger the on input event. And I thought it did. So I need to come over here, find the buttons, which is right here. And I need to say rate dot this dot rate input dot value equals that. And I need to say this dot current rate is equal to rate. You gotta go to the store? Alright, dude. Don't be sorry. I'm so glad that you were able to stop by. It was really great chatting with you. Good luck finding cabbages. Boop. Boop. I'm pretty sure. Setting rate to 1.2. And now, higher pitch? Hey, it's higher pitched. Is it faster? Does it line up? Yes, everything just fucking works. And if you didn't like the soundtrack in Friday Night Funkin' now, or before, you certainly will now. That's fantastic. It literally just works. Would you look at that? Ah, crap, I should have saved a replay. No replay. Okay, that's a good sign. That's exactly how it should work. It should not say that there are any replays found, because I didn't save that particular replay. Hold on. Rate, confirm 1.2. Okay. Let's, I don't know. I feel like playing my game today, so let's play my game a little bit. To load and play. Oh, this is wrong. Yeah, something's wrong there. Something's wrong there, I'm not sure what it is exactly. I see added silence equals 1.6. That must be it, right? Huh. The song starts too early. I thought I addressed that. So that would be the same problem I was experiencing if I wasn't adding enough silence. But I was pretty sure that I actually addressed exactly that problem. Ooh, the step file gets edited first, right? Could that be it? It's looking at like the wrong version of the tracks when it does this comparison. Well, this comparison more accurately. Let me come look over here. I do call set rate on the step file. And this dot tracks gets set equal to get tracks with rate. Okay, I could just print a bunch of junk, right? The print a bunch of junks method of debugging is usually my go-to. Console.log. Question: does sample rate somehow change? No, no, because if the sample rate increased, then that would just have more silent samples. Okay. So what I do, I guess, is I look at this block of log statements for with rate 1 and with rate not 1 and see what happens. Okay, rate should be 1. Escape return. Loading song with rate 1. Note start time in seconds is equal to 2. Min pause is equal to 3. Rate is equal to 1. Desired increase in seconds is equal to 1. Adding silence 1. Okay. Now if I say 1.2, I click on U, I say load and play, escape. Note start time in seconds is 1.6 repeating, which I think is right? If I take, what was it before? If I take 2, divide by 1.2, I get 1.6 repeating. Loading song with rate 1.2. My minimum pause is 3. Okay. So I would say, what would I say? What would I say? I would do 3 minus 1.6 repeating and get 1.3 repeating. Desired increase seconds is that. And if I multiply that by 1.2, that gives me 1.6. Okay. Added silence is equal to 1.6. I believe that. I think that that's right. I would guess then that added silence in seconds. Hmm. I hold on. Yeah, playing display. I bet this is it. This is freaking it. This is for sure it. This dot time manager. Yep. 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 We can't say that. Um. We can't say that unless we divide by the rate or something. Oh boy. Uh. Uh. um. Okay, so I know how to fix it, but it's sort of an arbitrary decision, right? Who am I gonna lie to? Is sort of the question. What kind of lie do I want to tell? Right? So if I come over here to page 2 and I'm like, hey, what's your duration? Your duration is 120.6. If I change my rate to 1.2, what does it say? Audio file duration 120.6, which is a lie. Okay. Who and how is get duration used? Okay, so this is making the decision. I want to end the game at the minimum of the notes end time plus 5 seconds or the audio duration, whichever comes first. So if the audio duration is too long, it won't play out all the way. Yeah, I think I say this. And if I'm doing that, I'm making this API more friendly, then I should probably also make this API more friendly. Okay. By lying. Lying is the way to make it more friendly in this case. Num samples divided by sample rate and divided by rate. Okay. And that will set the correct time in the playing display so that we won't have an incorrect offset when we're specifically only when we're playing songs where we add silence. Yeah, I can tell I will be working on this feature for a couple weeks yet to come, I imagine. Working out a bunch of little bugs like this. Yes, that's very good. Okay. Freaking sweet, dude. Freaking sweet. How cool is that? Uh, question. Question. What's the setting that corrects the pitch? Because I know that that's in theory a thing that you can do. I read about it once upon a time. Notes on playback rate. Most browsers stop playing audio outside of playback rate bounds of 0.5 and 4, leaving it silent. Okay. For most applications, it's recommended that you could limit the range between 0.5 and 4. The pitch of the audio track doesn't change when playback rate is altered? That seems incorrect. What? Am I stupid? I'm pretty sure that was a pitch change. Default playback rate and rate change. In addition to playback rate, we also have default playback rate, which lets us set the default playback rate, which is the playback rate to which the media resets. For example, if you change the source of the video. Okay. That's fine. There's also an event available called rate change, which fires every time the playback rate changes. How, Why does the pitch seem to change? Did it not actually change? And I'm just stupid? I Okay, that's normal rate. I don't I'm pretty sure that's the pitch changing. Huh. JavaScript web audio. Okay, there's a Stack Overflow question. Changing speed of audio using the web audio API without changing pitch. Huh. Why does this article claim the pitch of the audio track does not change when playback rate is altered? What? It doesn't seem to be true. There is a way to do this called granular synthesis. This is Stack Overflow now. The idea of granular synthesis is that a sound is sampled at the original speed, but is played at a different speed from each sample point. However, with the advantage that the pitch is not altered. There's now a property called playback rate on the audio and video elements that do just this. You don't need to modify the audio data itself. Just play it back more slowly. But the premise of the question says that I already know playback rate exists. Huh? Okay. One thing though is when I so the example that says that the audio pitch is not changed. That example says to use an audio source HTML element. What? Am I being stupid? I don't. Is wow, I'm very confused. There's a live example. Let me listen to the live example. You won't hear it though. Wow. Okay, so in this example, it um huh. So with video, it doesn't have a pitch change. But evidently if you just use audio, okay. Somebody has to have noticed this with JavaScript and web audio, right? Huh. It works with an audio input element. The playback rate on an audio input element doesn't have that issue. That's that's very strange. When you're using the audio input element, that's not web audio though. That's not the web audio API. That's the HTML regular audio API. I'm so confused. Okay, I found some example. Is this a library? What is this? SoundTouch.js. Yeah. This is a blog post about how he got a okay, it's now a 12-year-old library. God, jeez. Or 10 years old at least. It's now a 10-year-old library. He got a at the time a 4-year-old library to work. I don't I guess how does P5JS do it? Okay. Load a sound file and map its playback rate to the mouse Y and the volume to X. Slower rates increase the duration of sound, but also decrease the pitch. Okay. So P5JS doesn't attempt to deal with the pitch issue. That's just so deeply weird. I'm baffled. All right, I'm almost out of time today, but this is just so weird. I'm looking for anybody who's acknowledging this weirdness. Okay, question. What if I just search like pitch? Okay, there's detune, right? Surely if you use detune in combination with the playback rate. Okay, so let me try googling that, right? JavaScript web audio detune playback rate. Detune. Okay. Is there any difference between audio buffer source node detune and playback rate? Both seem to have the same effect. Oh. Detune does the same thing. If you want to change pitch while keeping the original speed, you need to implement a pitch shift algorithm on the audio buffer material. Okay, all right, sure, fine. I mean, that's from 2016, but I'm pretty sure that that's accurate. Weird. I don't. I'm gonna have to hold on to this weirdness. Where am I gonna put this? There. All right, I'm gonna play another song though because this is fun. Boy. You can make hard songs harder or easy songs harder. It's really great. So if my difficulty algorithm is correct, I want something like 1.4 probably. So let's see. Oh yeah, I gotta test the replay. See, that was not crazy. The like little mini trill or whatever you'd call that. Those are actually the harder parts. Okay, and we save replay, and then what happens? If I say, "All right, I just made a replay. Do you exist?" It okay. Replay? Does the replay? The replay seems to replay. It just works. It literally just freaking works. How about you? Do you work or do you crash? Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it got shortened as well. Wow, dude. A lot of this stuff just works as is. That's pretty freaking cool. That's pretty freaking awesome. God, that pitch shifting thing is just so weird. I don't know why. It works with one half of the thing of JavaScript, the part that is like with an HTML element. But if you try to do it with web audio, nope. Nope, doesn't work that way. I just don't like that there's multiple ways to do the same thing, man. Like somebody came in afterwards and is like, I'm gonna write a new API for the audio. They wrote it, okay. They published it, but they didn't get rid of the old one. They left the old one in there. Why? Why did they leave the old API in there? And well, I guess it's for cases like this because it's like it's not a complete replacement. And what I don't think we'll ever get a complete replacement. We'll just have two versions of the API sitting around forever. I think it's been many years that web audio has been around. It's baffling. It's just baffling. But that's fine. I can live with the pitch shift. I mean, I could also figure out like it depends on how difficult that algorithm is with where you're like cutting it up and changing it and stuff like that. Depends on how hard that algorithm is to implement. Because I could totally do it. Like I'm already capable of like going into the audio buffers and making changes to them. I made the music visualizer. You know, I'm okay with dealing with raw samples. It's not really too far from what I'm currently doing in there. So I don't know. Maybe I'll decide to look into that. We'll see. Anyways, that's all I've got tonight. That's all I'm gonna do tonight. It has been a sincere pleasure. Really happy that this is already like almost there. But like I said, could be like a week or two to iron out a bunch of weird little bugs. Tomorrow, I've got a job interview. Um, it's late in the day, but I'm probably just gonna not stream tomorrow. I don't know. I might go back on that. We'll see. Um, Almost certainly gonna stream Saturday. Probably not gonna stream Sunday. We'll see. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Until then, however, farewell.